All right. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to jump on here really quick and kind of explain citations and how you cite an APA. I wanted to do it in a video so you'd be able to get a feel for it while looking at the document with me. So I'm going to share my screen and we will go from there. Okay. Okay. Should be able to see my screen. So what you see here for citations isn't necessarily an example of how your annotated bibliography should be, which I will pull that document up here in a second as well. And that way I can kind of go through that. Oh, I guess I have an example. Awesome. All right. So this citations example document that I've uploaded, it's a paragraph from my dissertation. So I don't expect you to understand what's going on. I don't expect you to read it, but I wanted to talk about how you actually cite. So with this first citation, you can see leads to discriminatory behaviors towards these individuals. You see Corrigan and Watson, 2002, page 219. That is a direct quote. So anytime you're using a direct quote, you will need to have a page number. If you are not using a direct quote, you don't need the page number. Like when we can see down here where it says EG, link 1987. I was explaining something that Link, the researcher Link did and published in 1987. If you have an instance where you are using multiple references for pieces of information, so multiple researchers have done this, have replicated this study, have found these similar findings, you put all of them there in alphabetical order. So it is not by year, it is by alphabet. So here we see Ashford et al. 2018. Now, here's where things get a little bit dicey. Well, let me explain. The next one is Corrigan, Kuwabara, and O'Shaughnessy 2009. So the Corrigan, Kuwabara, and O'Shaughnessy 2009 was the first time that I had used that citation within my dissertation. So for the first time, if it is 3 to 5 authors, so if there's 3, 4, or 5 authors, you list each one of their names, followed by a comma, followed by the year. If it's a direct quote, you have to put a comma, the letter P, a period, 2019, okay? Just like we saw with the Corrigan and Watson. This Ashford citation, let's see, yeah, the Ashford citation, I had used that one previously, and so it's Ashford et al. Because there were 3 or more authors, and there were only, I think, 3 authors, but I had already listed all 3 of their names at first to start with. So the second time I use it, it's Ashford et al. And then the year. If there are 6 or more authors, sometimes you will find articles that have 7, 12 authors. You just put the first author and then et al. So 6 or more is always first author et al. 3 to 5 is always the first time all of their names, the second time first author et al. If that's unclear, let me know. I will be happy to explain in depth further. But again, so if you have multiple studies you're using, put them in all in the same parentheses, but separated by semicolons and in alphabetical order of the author's names. I think that is it for there. So let's scroll down and talk about the references. So these are all peer-reviewed articles. You have the author's last name, and if they go by their first and middle name, then it would be Ashford, R, period, D, period, comma. If they only go by Robert Ashford, I can't remember what his name is, then it would be Ashford, R, period, comma. Okay, so whether they have both first, middle, or all first, middle, and last name, first name, middle initial, last name, you would use the initials for the names that they have there, except for the last name, you would fill that out fully. You've got the year that the study was published, and then you get the study title. So the study title here was the recovery dialectics. Only the first word is capitalized unless there is a colon. So we see a colon, or there's a period. And then starting the new sentence would be a new capital letter. Sorry about that. I got a text. It's connected to my computer. So only that first letter or first word is capitalized, and then the first word after the colon. And you'll see that in a lot of studies. And then you get, so this was a really long study title, the stigmatization, non-stigmatizing label use, blah, blah, blah. That's the word disorders ends the title. And then this right here, including that comma, is italicized. And this is the journal article that it was published in, or the journal title it was published in. And you capitalize the entire title of the journal, each of the words, except for like and, by, stuff like that. And then the page numbers of the total article. So 921 to 1057. That would be a really long article. This only had a 6-page article. So 1 to 6, and then a period at the end. Okay. If it is a book you are using, so you would put, like, this isn't a book, but I'm going to use this as an example. It would be Ashford, comma, R, period, D, period, the year the book was published. You would put the title of the book, and the title of the book would follow the same format, only the first word is capitalized. And then you would put, let's see, title of the book. And then you would put the city and state in which the book was published. So New York, comma, New York, and it looked like this, how you do it. Here, let me do this. We'll pretend this is a book just so you can like see it. And then you'd put nope, that's not right. All right, so I don't think that needs to be italicized. I'm almost positive it doesn't. If I'm wrong, please let me know so I can fix it. But with this, you've got the title, the not the titles of the authors' names, the year the book was published, the title of the book, the location of the publisher, and then the publisher. So Routledge, or Rutledge, however you want to say it, is the publisher, followed by a period at the end. I think online articles and books are going to be most of what you're going to use. You have to find a lot of peer reviewed. But let's say that you found an online article that isn't peer reviewed, right? So you've got the authors, just like you would. You take the date it was published, so 2018, May 17, right? So you put the month, you abbreviate, so I'll just go ahead and put like APR, because April is abbreviated to APR, and then the day, and then the title, how it was, oops. And then you would put oops, not underlined, italicized. And then you would put the article's homepage, right? So this is the article I found, Ashford, Curtis, Brown, 2018, April 17th, the article title, and then the article's homepage. Say I found it on the Huffington Post or HuffPost as it's called. Then I would put HuffPost and that would be italicized. You do not put a URL. You never need a URL. So forget that. That's with MLA, APA doesn't want that. This is all you would do. Now, with both of these two at the bottom, oops, you do need to make sure that they are indented like this, okay? If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I wanted to kind of go through that with you. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second and then click out of this and show you the annotated bibliography example really quick. So share screen. Okay, so for your annotated bibliography, this is exactly what it's going to look like. This is a sample annotated bibliography that was handed in. You have the authors, and normally I wouldn't ask you to bold your citations, but for this, I do want you to bold it. And here's something that I forgot to mention earlier. So in this citation, you got the authors, the year it was published, the title of the article, the journal it was published in. You also should highlight the volume of the, or not highlight, you also should put in and italicize the volume of the journal. So this was volume 19. The journal might give you an issue number. So each year there's a new volume number. So volume 3, it's a newer journal. This is the 3rd year they've been doing it. And it might be issue 7. So this is the 7th publication of articles they've put out. Don't worry about the issue number. You don't need it. And then the page number should not be italicized. Another thing, I personally think DOIs are stupid. You are giving everybody the information that they need to find the article that you're trying to use. If you want to put the DOI in there, I will not count off for it. If you are like me, I personally hate using the DOI. I do think it is terribly dumb. Don't put it in there. That's fine. What I want you to do underneath for your annotated bibliography is talk about the article. Why is this significant? What did they do? What did they do for their study? What type of methods did they use? What did they find? Overall, what's the general understanding of this study that you read? Okay. And so you have to have a couple of those. It looks like it's a lot, but this is going to be stuff that you can put directly into your papers. So please do plan to do this and spend the time with it. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to answer anything. And we can set up Zoom meetings, we can email, whatever you need. So, all right, hope this helps.